Can you look at these two games against the Los Angeles Dodgers, two lopsided losses, and say, well, this is the way it's going to go if they play these guys in October? I don't think so. You can't look at it that way. We'll get to that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yeah, you can slice up the numbers any way you want to, but let's face it, the Brewers just haven't had much success against the LA Dodgers. They've lost 9 of their last 11 against them. Their record is 13-26 since the 2018 NLCS. And yeah, it's not good against the big market Dodgers. I went on my rant yesterday. I'm going to try to stay off that path today. How are you doing, everybody? Chuck Freeman. We're not doing good. Our baseball team is not looked good the last couple of days here against the LA Dodgers. I get that, but hopefully better days are ahead. The Brewers, every time, again, we think they're going to go sliding away, they bounce back and surprise us. Chuck Freeman, longtime sportscaster here in the state of Wisconsin. Great to have you along here on Locked On Brewers. I'll tell you a little bit later on in the show about how the various ways you get this podcast. Whatever way you get it tonight, could be other ways or easier ways you might be able to access. We'll get to that coming up here in a little bit. This show is brought to you in part by PrizePicks. Go to PrizePicks and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for that first deposit match up to $100. Download the PrizePicks app, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. But it's a great way to double, triple, or even 10 times your money with PrizePicks. You find me on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. Yesterday's episode, I went on a rant talking about the big markets, the small markets, the have-nots like Milwaukee against the big markets like Los Angeles Dodgers. And even though you see that Dodger lineup, and it is daunting, it is. And the Brewers' slogan is being undaunted. But it is a daunting lineup. There's no doubt about it. And when you're seeing those balls fly out of the ballpark against Colin Rea, gave up 4 home runs on Tuesday night, you're thinking, it's easy to get down. I mean, 4th inning, you're down 7-1, and there ain't no way they're coming back in that game. You just know it. They're not coming back. And it's easy to say, well, you get to the postseason, is this going to be a microcosm of what's going to happen to the postseason? Just a sweep in the series? I get that, but you get to October, and the Dodgers have fallen before. They've had high hopes before, and not always the best team wins in October. Not always. So, yeah, in basketball, if this was the NBA playoff series, yeah, the best team, the higher seed usually wins. NFL, usually what happens? Well, that better seed usually wins. Baseball, there's been teams that have won 116 games in the regular season, bowed out in the opening round of the playoffs, like the divisional series. Remember the Mariners in 2001 doing that. And there's a bunch of other cases as well. I guess I'm trying to talk us all out of just throwing in the towel on the Milwaukee Brewers, because I'm not ready to go there just yet. I'm not. Last week was a great week for these guys. It was a great offensive week. And I felt so good after beating the Braves. And then came Saturday night, and they went scoreless for 7 innings. Then Rhys Hoskins hits that 8th inning home run, and the Brewers beat the Reds 1-0, and that was the last time they've won a game. Lost on Sunday, no offense. Lost on Monday against the Dodgers, no offense. Tuesday, another quiet night offensively, losing 7-2. Yeah, it's easy to get down. Colin Rea had a bad outing. Giving up the 4 home runs. That was the worst outing he's had all year. Picked a bad time for it, but nonetheless, he's been great this year. I'm not going to get that down on him for that, but he had a rough outing. And I see people coming after him on Twitter. Hey, you know what? He's one of the reasons why the Brewers are in this position to begin with. Not going to get down on Colin Rea right now. But the Brewers, can they have success against the Dodgers in the postseason? Yeah. And there's 2 games left in this series. They win Wednesday, they win Thursday, suddenly they get a split with the Dodgers, and things are looking better. I don't know if it's a pipe dream for me, but I'm not giving up hope. They've never lost more than 3 in a row. They're the only team in baseball that has not had longer than a 3-game skid. The Dodgers aren't unbeatable. Yeah, they got Mookie Betts back in the lineup for the first time since mid-June, and that lineup, again, looks awfully daunting. But I'm not going to go there and say, well, the Brewers can't beat these guys at all. Can't beat them at all. Now, it'd be nice to prove something to ourselves and win at least one of these next 2 games. You know, they beat the Braves in a 3-game set last year, and I think the Braves are a good team, underachieving a little bit, but going into Atlanta and winning, maybe the Brewers were just hot. And the Brewers are kind of like the stock market. You know, baseball teams are like that, but we focus in on the Milwaukee Brewers, like the stock market. You know, they're rising up. Last week, the Brewers were playing high. They were on a high. The going was good, getting all the key base hits, getting early offense. All right. Now they're on that decline once again. They're on the down, and the Dodgers are on the up climb. Dodgers swept the 3-game series to the Pirates last weekend. Came in here, took 2 of 3. The Dodgers are hot. The Brewers are cold. What you get is the Dodgers taking the first 2 games of this series. But a lot of things. I've said this about the Brewers. Their margin of error is very small. They can't have Colin Rea give up 4 home runs. Not blaming him, but they can't have that. They have to go out there and Rea has got to pitch from 5 or 6 solid innings. The offensive has got to do better than they did against Gavin Stone on Tuesday night. He had not been pitching well in his last few starts. He pitched pretty good in his outing. And the Brewers leaving guys in scoring positions, guys in second and third, 1 out, can't get the run in again. Second night in a row. Okay, those things can't happen against a team like the Dodgers. They have to go out there and the margin of error. I'm not saying you have to play a perfect game, but the margin of error for a victory against a team like the Dodgers, you know, it's small. You cannot make mistakes. You can't make mistakes. You can't leave balls over the middle of the plate. You got to be able to execute, get guys in. You can't commit any errors. No fundamental mistakes. And you got to play good baseball. The Brewers have got this point of the season by playing good fundamental baseball, smart baseball for the most part. That's what's got them here. And yeah, they're in a downslide against at a bad time right now. It's a tough August schedule, and yeah, doesn't get any easier this weekend with Cleveland coming in town. But they got these 2 at the Dodgers. This was kind of a litmus test for these guys. For us fans, at least. Where did the Brewers stand? They got beat 2 of 3 by the Dodgers last month in Los Angeles. Let's see how they are with a chance to maybe move up to that 2 or 1 seed. I'm still not writing that off just yet. Got 2 games up with the Dodgers. Let's see where we're headed. But, man, I get it. You can't feel good after these 2 games at all. These 2 games, the Dodgers come in here and just dominate. Shohei homers again. And I'm tired of that little dance he does. I'm tired of it when he gets on second base and we hit the home run. He did that little thing. Yeah. Now, if he was on our team, I'd feel a little different about it. And I'm sure opposing teams didn't like all our antics over the years when things were going good. Well, things are going good for the Brewers. You know, our little things that we've done over the years. I'm sure that rubbed other teams wrong. The Shohei dance rubs me the wrong way. And that's because I'm mad right now at the LA Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers. I'm mad at big market baseball. And when the Brewers do lose games like this, yeah, part of me wants to go down that road again. But I'm not going to do it. I did that last night. But gosh darn it. Yeah, I'm disappointed in the last 2 days for the Milwaukee Brewers. But luckily, yeah, bring him on. Got 2 days. You got Montas on the hill on Wednesday. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. The Dodgers haven't announced their starter. But Colin Rea, yeah, got to be better than he was. Tired of seeing the Dodgers already. Shohei Ohtani comes here, and you see the fans and the cameras. Everybody stops what they're doing when Shohei comes to the plate. I put this little tweet on Twitter tonight after Shohei homers. And yeah, is it sour grapes on my part? Absolutely it is. Because I'm tired of being the tree that the dog pees on. And that's what the Milwaukee Brewers have been for many, many times. They're the jobber. This is what Major League Baseball, I think, wants sometimes. 6 to 8 teams that are really good and can buy a Shohei. And the rest of us, like the Milwaukee Brewers, were nice little stories, but that's it. After Shohei hit his home run, I said it'd be nice if we had a sport where everyone had a legitimate financial shot at signing Ohtani. But MLB wants about 6 teams to really matter in the league. We'll get to that coming up here in a little bit. Some of your tweets as well. Some of you guys had some really good, thoughtful things to say. We'll get to that coming up next. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Went to the gas station today and I saw some liquid IV at the counter right there out in front. When you're talking about America's pastime, the warm weather out there, maybe get off the golf course, don't forget to hydrate with liquid IV and their popsicle firecracker flavor, a surefire summer hit. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. Went to the store today to get gas, went inside, and there it was right at the counter. Baseball and summer go together like liquid IV and hydration. You need to hydrate. You need to get yourself in that hydration form with these warm temperatures that are over us here in August throughout America. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor, a popsicle firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon, lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. Here's what you need to do. Go to Liquid IV, liquidiv.com. Use the promo code MLB, and you get 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today. Use that promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Check it out. Also, go to your convenience store and check out the Liquid IV. It's all there for you. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. I was telling you about PrizePicks earlier. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is easily the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, PrizePicks, it's you against the numbers. Pick more or less 2 to 6 players. Let's say you want Shohei to go. I mean, you don't want him to do, but I mean, for the money, I guess. If you want to pick up Shohei to go over on home runs, pick anywhere from 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch those winnings roll right in. Get in on all the daily action with your friends and become a part of PrizePicks community today. But you got to download the PrizePicks app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That first deposit match up to $100. Again, use that promo code LOCKEDONMLB PrizePicks. You got to download the app. Deposit match up to $100. Pick more or less. It's that easy. You could turn $10 into $1,000. You could turn 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks on PrizePicks. Good to have you along here on an early Wednesday morning. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Wherever you get your podcast, wherever you get this podcast, let's say you're watching us on YouTube. We also have the audio version of this. Go to Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download podcasts. We are there. We're the #1 Brewers podcast on the internet because of you great Brewers fans out there. So again, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the alert button on wherever you download your podcast, and please subscribe. It's all free. And those of you who are listening to this podcast, we're on YouTube, the video version of YouTube. You watch us on YouTube. You see the terrific background I have here in the Locked On Brewers studio. Got all that great Brewers memorabilia in back. Please go to YouTube. Search Locked On Brewers. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell. That'll alert you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. And please hit me up on Twitter. Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. Anytime you want to ask me a question about the Brewers, best way to do it. If you want to DM me, you feel better that way. Otherwise, the conversation on Twitter is just fantastic. You guys kill it every time on Twitter. So I put out that comment again. It'd be nice to have a sport where everyone had a legitimate financial shot at signing Ohtani, but MLB just wants 6 teams to matter in the lead. And of course, this exploded on Twitter. So Ryan says, it's not even fun to watch anymore. Corey, Put all the games on national TV, split the revenue, have a salary cap. But in this system, the Brewers have to orchestrate nearly flawless baseball to advance deep in October. You're right. That's what I said, Corey. I've said this. Small margin of error for the Brewers. You hate having to play that way, but you got to play by the rules. Coach T says, I don't disagree, but I'm also tired of Mark Antanasio crying poor or small market at every turn. The Brewers have the ability to spend. They choose not to. They are going to be a playoff team again, but we're kidding ourselves if they think they can make a deep run. I still think they can make a deep run. Again, Arizona was the evidence last year. John says there have been 16 different teams to play in the World Series since 2013. In the NBA, it's 11. In the NFL, it's 12. A salary cap doesn't mean much. Everyone is equal. I disagree. I disagree. Salary cap in Major League Baseball, you don't have the Dodgers stacking up a lineup like they did. Choosing sides and picking the 4 best players. You line up both teams. They got the 3 best players. Even Murphy said that. He said that lineup 1, 2, 3, you might have the 3 best players in baseball right there. Eugene says you need a hard and low cap. I agree. Russ says if the Brewers play up to their ability, play Brewer ball, they can compete. They're just not doing. I won't read what he says, but something with their drawers the last 2 games. Yeah, the Brewers aren't doing well in the last 2 games. Like I said, on the downside. Joshua says, so if teams can actually generate most revenue, actually get to keep their own cash to spend, seems like exactly how the rest of corporate America is run, and not a salary cap with redistribution of funds to everyone. CJ says, I won't read that one. Matt says the Dodgers gambled and cashed the ticket on Ohtani. They sure did. Doctor says Ohtani, just one of the Dodgers that everyone would like to sign. How about bets? The Brewers are stuck with a retread pitcher like Colin Rea. The Brewers will never have the talent to compete with the Dodgers. The good thing is the Dodgers always blow it at the playoffs. Yeah, but they hit on Colin Rea the last 2 years. Yeah, if this turns out bad, if Colin Rea, who's 34 years old and has bounced around a little bit, if he doesn't pitch like he has and he's 10-4, the Brewers would not be here right now. They might not even be in first place. Ed Miller says Dodgers, Yankees, Cubs, Braves, Phillies, Red Sox, Cardinals. Are those about the 4? Or are those the 6 teams you're talking about, Chuck? Yeah, that's about right. But the Cardinals, their market isn't much bigger than Milwaukee. I don't consider the Cardinals a big market, and they spend more than us. What, their payroll somewhere 30 to 40 million? Heard Tim Allen talk about this, my buddy, the other night. Yeah, he made a great point. The Brewers should be spending on a par with the St. Louis Cardinals. Why not? Why aren't the Brewers spending? If the Cardinals have some big name money-making guys on their team, and they do at the corners on that team, Arenado and Goldschmidt, why aren't the Brewers? The Cardinals are spending $30 to $40 million more a year. Brewers should be on that par. They sure should be. Why not? Absolutely. Brewers don't have to take Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals market that much bigger than Milwaukee? It shouldn't be. It's not. I don't consider the Cardinals big market. Big markets, I think, are the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, Baltimore, the Baltimore-Washington area. Miami should be a big market, but they're not. They don't get anybody going to their games. They got, a 12,000-seat arena to play in. Texas should be a big market. Sometimes they don't act like it. Detroit should be. They've just been incompetent. So, yeah, but it's like the same teams. The Cubs. And the Brewers are ahead of the Cubs. But that's Cubs incompetence right there. White Sox, Cubs and White Sox incompetence. For a team to be that bad in a big market like that is embarrassing. I don't care if they have 2 teams. They third biggest city in America. That's an embarrassment. But the Brewers, considering the circumstances, stacked up against them, they've put up some success in the regular season. I just want to see it translate into the postseason. All right, we come back. We'll talk about Thursday's matchup, see if the Brewers can snap out of this. Chuck Fraben here on Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Ibotta, we all shop. We go out there and we shop and we spend money, but do we get that money coming back into our pockets? We spend money on sunscreens, sandals in the summertime, go to Macy's, Lowe's, Best Buy, buy our TV sets. You can save on over 2,000 brands, shop over 1,000 retailers. When you get your money back, the average Ibotta user earns about $256 a year. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. Earn on hundreds of items, from groceries to beauty supplies, toys. You can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. You're going to get money back. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 for just using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. So go to the App Store, go to the Google Play Store, download the free Ibotta app, start earning cash back. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. You're going to get $5 just for trying Ibotta. Ibotta, Ibotta, Google Play, Apple Store, or the App Store, and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Again, some places you get points, they give you cash back, a free app. Taking that dream vacation this summer, dreading the cost, Ibotta, you get cash back on all your purchases. So you can spend more time making memories this summer and knowing that you're getting money back with Ibotta, but you got to download the app today. eBay Motors, I told you about the guy down the street, loves eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships also keeps your ride or die alive. This guy swears by eBay Motors. He's every day. He's got a truck coming to his house, dropping off what he buys from eBay Motors. Level up your car. Peak performance, superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. Over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die. You always find exactly what you're looking for. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need, the prices you want, easy to make your car the MVP and bring home that huge win. Keep your ride or die alive. ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Chuck Fraben here on Locked On Brewers. Down the stretch we come here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Yeah, the Dodgers, I feel like, have been here a week already, and it's only been 2 days. We got 2 more games left with them. 7:10, the broadcast coming up on Wednesday night on SiriusXM, the SXM app. Search Brewers. You get all 162 of the Brewers games, the home team cast. You could turn on and hear the Dodgers cast if you want as well. See what the other team has got to say about our team. I do that all the time. SiriusXM is the way to go against 7:10, that first pitch coming up. Scoreboard, hopefully get that scoreboard working. Scoreboard's been iffy for the last several nights. He was out for a good portion of the game, came back on 9th inning at AmFam Field on Tuesday night. Kind of reminds, we got this brand new scoreboard the Brewers have spent $14 million on, and it's on the fritz right now. It reminds me of like when County Stadium was at the end, the scoreboard sometimes would work. Sometimes they'd have a high school scoreboard, a portable scoreboard they'd have to put up in the bullpen because it wasn't working. Are we at that point? Scoreboard's a big part of the game. It is. You wouldn't think it until you actually don't see it up there anymore, and you look it up and you're saying you don't see counts or anything up there. It's just blank. Hopefully you get that scoreboard worked. It was supposed to be a one-day thing, but it's been up and down since last Friday. Montas is on the hill for the Brewers coming up on Wednesday night. TBA, I see, for the Dodgers. That can only mean a bunch of different things. We've thrown out TBA many times, but Montas is pitching, and he needs to pitch a good one. I'm a little worried about Frankie Montas. Again, only 2 starts. They've won both of his starts, but he hasn't really looked good. Couldn't make it past the 4th inning in his last start. Brewers got him offense in both starts. Maybe they get the offense going again under Montas. Frankie Montas makes a start for Milwaukee. I see a lot of Dodger fans. Anytime the Dodgers do something good, it's like when the Lakers in town, you see a lot of Milwaukee Laker fans. Is this the same thing with the Dodgers? I don't imagine the Dodger fans are traveling here. Okay. maybe some, but are these like Milwaukee Dodger fans that we're seeing? People who are jumping on that Dodger bandwagon because they got Shohei and, Betts, and they got a great team. That we're seeing Milwaukee Dodger fans? I hope not. Every time the Dodgers are doing, and that kind of, it just kind of adds, adds a little extra spice to it. When the Dodgers hit a home run, then you hear like half of the stadium, I feel like, cheering. Those Dodger fans, those Milwaukee Dodger fans. Let's quiet them up here on Wednesday night and get the job done. Montas, hopefully they can give them one, and the Brewers can get the victory. Hey, everybody, find us on Google, Spotify, Apple, on all the major downloads, making us the number one listen on the internet. Locked On Brewers. Please go to YouTube. Please go to YouTube, search Locked On Brewers, hit subscribe, hit the bell. All our content is free. And of course, hit me up on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, Freimund. I said, we're your first listen to every day. Thank you, everybody, for downloading our episode every night and setting it to us. Our second episode, you want a second episode, go to Locked On MLB. My guy Sully has got all the baseball information daily on Locked On MLB. We'll talk to you after the game on Wednesday night, everybody. Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Have yourself a great Wednesday.